Hello everyone, welcome back to my session again. Today we are going to discuss about pipe connecting two reservoirs. In some textbooks it is also written as flow through the long pipes. In this topic we'll learn about the uh, pipe connection between the two reservoirs. If the pipe is long, what are the types of losses we have to consider, and how we can uh, how we can find out the velocity of the average velocity of the flow, we can discuss here. So let us consider this figure. Right, now our intention is to identify the average velocity of the flow. So we have already been through this hydraulic gradient line and total energy line concept. Hope you have viewed my earlier video in which you have been through this hydraulic gradient line and total energy line. So now coming to this topic, let us consider two reservoirs. Let this be the reservoir A and let this be the reservoir B. And now these two reservoirs are connected through a these two reservoirs are connected with a long pipeline. So in general, you know that whenever two reservoirs or two vessels are connected with a connection with a pipe, and if you can identify the levels, you can identify these levels. You can identify the water levels in the two uh, two reservoirs or two vessels which you have connected through a pipe will be the same in general. But if it is if when the reservoir is large enough, or if your pipe is very long, then these two levels may not be equal. Why? Because definitely there will be a head loss. That is the reason you will identify a head loss here. So these two levels may not be equal. And if how much difference, it means what is the head difference between the two reservoirs, we'll identify here. So let us consider two reservoirs. Let this be the piezometers, that are these two be the piezometers. Not only two, for understanding purpose I have given you here a two. If you attach, if you place piezometer at every point, then your head level, nothing but your water level in the piezometer, or if you connect all the levels of the piezometer, then you will get a hydraulic gradient line. If you connect all the levels of the pitot tube, then you will get total energy line. The only difference between this hydraulic gradient line and total energy line is v square by 2g, that we have already discussed in the last class. So if you identify here this one, I'll show it. Wait, in color, let it be the red one. Right, this red one that you have now viewing, this red one is the total energy line, sorry, hydraulic gradient line, and this dotted line is total energy line. If you observe at the entry, there is a loss. It is nothing but entry loss. It is 0.5 v square by 2g, and after traveling certain distance, the pipe will have friction, that is nothing but hf. It was so because of that friction, you'll have frictional losses, that is hf is equals to flv square by 2gd, and this is the exit loss. Here you will identify the exit loss, v square by 2g. This is the exit loss, right? And by connecting all the levels, you can draw this hydraulic gradient and total energy lines. Right, our intention is to identify the average velocity of the flow. So let us consider this figure, the same figure with the different I have not given the piezometers here. This is the text figure from the textbook. So let za be the datum height. So let us consider a datum first, and let za be the height from, let this be 0.1. za be the height of this 0.1 from the datum. Ha be the head of the liquid, or height of the liquid above this 0.1. hb be the height of the liquid above this 0.2. Let this be the 0.2. Let this be the 0.2. And zb be the datum, sorry, height from the datum to the 0.2. And now if you observe here, it is clear that this 0.5 v square by 2g is entry loss, and this v square by 2g is exit loss, and this hf is the frictional loss. Summation of these three, you will get total head loss in the reservoir. Summation of these three, you will get total head loss in the reservoir. So simple, we will apply only Bernoulli's equation. We know that head loss at the entrance of the pipe is 0. v square by 2g. I have already discussed this one. Head loss due to friction is 4 flv square by 2gd. In some textbooks it is flv square by 2gd. I have already given you clarity regarding this 4 flv square by 2gd and flv square by 2gd in the classroom itself. And head loss at the exit of the pipe is v square by 2g. So if you observe carefully from this figure, from this figure we can understand this. From this figure here H, if you observe this H can be written as, this is the total difference between this horizontal line from this point to this particular level. This is the total H. If you carefully observe this small one is V square by point V square by 2G. This is entry loss and HF, and this is V square by 2G exit loss. If you sum up all these things, you will get in touch with H. But if you observe this carefully from the datum line, HA plus ZA minus HB plus ZB will give you the difference H. Observe the two levels. This is the main level, this is the main level. Observe this carefully. From here from this point here datum, the total height, if you observe carefully, ZB plus HB plus H, this is similarly equal to HA plus ZA. So from this I can write it as capital H is equal to HA plus ZA minus HB plus ZB. And if you apply Bernoulli's theorem between the points 1 and 2, from 1, see, observe here, this is the point 1, this is the point 1. I have already denoted in the earlier slide. This is the point 1 and this is the point 2. This is 1 and 2. Wait, you will get an idea. Sorry. Now the points 1 and 2 are represented here, 1 and 2. If you observe Bernoulli's, if you apply Bernoulli's equation between the 2 points, then apply Bernoulli's equation between the 2 points. We know that Bernoulli's equation is P by W plus V square by 2G plus Z. What is P by W here? Observe this at this particular point 1. P by W we will get from the height of the water. The pressure at this point is due to head of the water, height of the water above this particular point. It is nothing but HA. And velocity, we don't have, we may not have any velocity here. You will observe velocity from here onwards. So HA, and at this point is at a distance of ZA from the bottom line. So the total energy at this particular point is HA plus ZA, right? Next, apply Bernoulli's equation at this particular point too. It is P by W. Again, the height above this, the pressure at this particular point too is due to height of the water column above this particular point. See, observe here about this particular point. The height of the water column is HB and datum is ZB. Velocity is 0. And if you apply Bernoulli's theorem between the 2 points, it is total energy at one point is equal to total energy at another point plus head loss, that is nothing but H. What is capital H? You will observe here. Already capital H, it is nothing but HA plus ZA is equal to HB plus ZB plus this is capital H. This total one is capital H, nothing but entry loss, frictional loss, exit loss, right? So if you twist this here, and we have already identified from the earlier slide, this total can be written as H. This one is the earlier slide. From this can be written as capital H. So capital H is equal to V square by 2G into 1.5 plus 4 FL by D. And if we neglect, if your pipe is very long, nothing but such that if the length of the pipe is more than 1000 times the diameter, if your length of the pipe is more than 1000 times the diameter, then it is called long pipe, and in that particular case your entry and exit loss are very minute, so you can consider it as 0. So the total head loss H can be written as 4 FLV square by 2G. And if you know this H value, if you know the frictional factor value and L value, you can identify the average velocity in the particular pipe, right? From this concept, we can identify the average velocity of the particular pipe that is connected between the two reservoirs. Our next topic is hydraulic gradient. You have been through already this hydraulic gradient line and total energy line. And now it is hydraulic gradient and energy gradient. Gradient is nothing but slope. It is simply defined as the change in piezometric head per unit length of the pipe. It is simply the change in piezometric head per unit length of the pipe. If you observe energy gradient, it is also the same. The change in total energy per unit length of the pipe. See, energy will vary surely, and you have already identified that energy variation in while you are drawing this hydraulic gradient line and energy gradient line, right? Here, if you observe this carefully, let us consider this diagram. So observe this diagram. Here you have this pipe. Let this be the flow in this direction. Let this red color be the flow direction. And whenever the fluid is flowing in this particular pipe, these three are piezometers connected, and the levels of the piezometers, if you join the levels of the piezometers simply with a line, then it is called hydraulic gradient line. But actually this, see, observe this hydraulic gradient line, this hydraulic gradient, nothing but this line is with some slope. This particular slope is called hydraulic gradient. Why? Because, see, observe here, uh, if you observe carefully from this point to this point, there is a particular loss in head for this particular length. If L is the length between these these two piezometers, let this be the 1 and let this be the 2. If the difference between, see, the length between 1 and 2 is L, and if you observe the hydraulic gradient value, it decreased by HF. So simply this HF by L will give you the change in piezometric head. That is nothing but, if you consider what is HF, you know that head loss is because of this P by W plus Z. Total energy, hydraulic energy is lost, that is P by W plus H. If the pipe is horizontal, there won't be any case like Z. Your Z is 0. In that particular case, your HF is only P by W in this particular case. So it is simply change in this piezometric head, nothing but change with respect to length, dPW by dl. And if the pipe is inclined, you must also consider this Z also. Why? Because Z is also varying from one point to another point. If pipe is horizontal, Z is constant. If the pipe is inclined, Z is varying. So in that particular case, HF by L is equals to D of P by W plus Z divided by dl. Now coming to the energy gradient decline, it is also the same. Now here you will consider HF as total energy loss, right? Total energy loss that took place between particular 2 points, right? That is HF by L. Again, if the pipe is horizontal, it is simply D P by W by dl. If the pipe is inclined, again you have to consider Z and V square by 2G. See, if the pipe is horizontal, in most of the cases the velocity is equal. You will have average velocity, so there won't be any change in velocity. That is the only reason you have not considering the velocity and datum in this particular equation. If the pipe is horizontal, if the pipe is inclined, it is HF by L is equals to change of D of P by W plus V square by 2G plus Z whole divided by L. Now coming to the next topic, it is pipes in series or compound pipes. Generally, whenever you consider these types of reservoirs, these types of reservoirs can be connected in different manner. They may use a single pipe, like which we have shown earlier in the earlier slide, and it may be with a connection series of pipes, or it may be with a parallel connection of pipes, or it may be with a siphon system. So now you have already seen this. Whenever two reservoirs are connected by using a long pipe, the difference in head can be written as loss of head, nothing but total summation of total loss. The difference in head, nothing but this H. Wait a minute, nothing but this H. This H can be written as total losses that occurred when the fluid flows through this pipe. Whatever the losses that occurred during the flow of fluid in this pipe, the summation of total losses will give you H, that you have already been seen in the earlier slide. So now our intention is to identify. Now in this concept, you can identify this this total head loss or discharge that has been through this pipe. You can calculate these things. So when the pipes are connected in series, let us consider this figure. This figure it was already given in your material. So let A and B be the two reservoirs, and these two are connected with a series of pipes, nothing but compound pipe. Let L1, L2, L3 be the, I have considered three pipes. This is 1 and 2 and 3. So L1, L2, L3 be the lengths, D1, D2, D3 be the diameters, F1, F2, F3 be the friction factors. If the diameters are varying, obviously you will have difference in velocities V1, V2 and V3 be the velocities. But from the continuity equation we can say that Q is equals to A1 V1 plus is equals to A2 V2 is equals to A3 V3. From the continuity equation we know this equation. So right, so our intention is to write the head loss, nothing but total capital H. This capital H can be written as summation of total losses in these pipes. Now if you observe here carefully at the entry at this particular point, I'll show it in another color. Right, if you observe this point, this is an entry point, so you'll have entry loss here, and flown the water flown for a certain distance, you'll have friction factor, obviously you will have friction loss here, and here you'll have sudden contraction, you'll have sudden contract. Because of this contraction you will have loss, one type of loss. And flown, the fluid travels certain distance, you'll have frictional loss. Sudden enlargement, you will have one loss due to sudden enlargement. And flown for the some distance, frictional loss. And finally exit loss. If you sum up this all these losses, you will directly get this H, right? So what are the losses that are written in this slide? I have already told you to go through this loss of pipes that was already given in material. So this is entry loss. Observe here, this is entry loss 0.5 V1 square by 2Z. And pipe 1, in pipe 1 the flow, because of flow in pipe 1, frictional loss is 4 FLV square by 2G D1, and due to sudden contraction it is 0.5 V2 square by 2G, and due to flow in pipe 2 it is 4 FLV2 square by 2G D2, and due to sudden enlargement this is the sudden loss, and due to friction flow in the pipe 3 it is frictional loss, and this one is exit loss, right? But if you consider that, or if the pipe is very long, you can consider that the minor losses. The only major loss we will consider in the only major loss we will consider here in these pipes are frictional losses. If you eliminate this or neglect these minor losses, then you will get the equation as H equals to 4F, simple summation of frictional values, frictional loss values. If F1 is equals to F2 is equals to F, then the equation turns in this way. You can observe some type of problems on this concept. Hope please kindly go through the textbook. If possible, I'll make another video of showing the problem, solving the problem. And this is one of the important topic where you'll identify a problem in the exam, right? You may ask you to identify here, they may ask you to identify the head loss, or they may ask you to identify the discharge also in this particular type of concept. So please go through the textbook. For if you are having any doubts regarding the problems, you can contact me. Now next one is equivalent pipe. You have been through this compound pipe and equivalent pipe concepts are related. What is equivalent pipe means? You have been through this compound pipe. So for example, this compound pipe is having different diameters and different lengths. If you want to replace this compound pipe with a single pipe, that is called equivalent one, and it must satisfy that the discharge must be the same and the head loss must be the same, right? If you place the single pipe, in the by replacing that compound one with the same properties, same loss of head, same discharge, then it is called equivalent pipe. It is written here, a pipe of uniform diameter having loss of head and discharge equal to the loss of head and discharge of a compound pipe consisting of several. See, compound pipe consists of several pipes of different lengths and diameters. If you want to replace this compound pipe with another pipe having some another diameter or another length, the another pipe which you are replacing is called equivalent pipe only when the loss of head and discharge is equal to the loss of head and discharge of compound pipe, right? So in the earlier case, from the earlier case, we know that from the earlier case we know that this H can be written as the loss of head can be written as summation of these losses due to friction in the three pipes. So let us assume the frictional factor value for all the pipes is small f, and we know that from continuity equation Q is equal to A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2, and already A1 can be written as pi by 4 D1 square. So from this you can write V1 as simply this, bring this pi by 4 d1 square to this side, you will get 4q by pi by 4 d1 square. Similarly v2 and v3. And now if you take out the common thing, if you multiply these all the substitute this v1 v2 values in the above equation of h, then you'll take it out the common terms, then you will get h is equals to this some constant into L1 by D1 power 5 plus L2 by D2 power 5 plus L3 by D2 power 5. And detailed explanation was given in the notes. And now consider equivalent pipe. Let us consider, see, in equivalent pipe also you will have same head loss. So same head loss, capital H, it can be written as 4FL V square by 2GD. Let capital V be the velocity and L be the length, D be the diameter. Now you can write V can be written as velocity can be written as from the continuity equation Q is equals to AV. So obviously 4 by pi d square into Q, right? This is A, we have bought this Q by A, simply substitute in this equation, then you will get this value. And now as it is an equivalent pipe, the loss of head is equal in both the cases. So equating these two, you will get this equation. From the two equations you will have same constant term, simply strike of the same constant term, you will get the equation like L1 by D1 power 5, L2 by D2 power 5, L3 by D3 power 5 is equals to L by D power 5. This equation is called Dupit's equation. You may be asked to derive this Dupit's equation, or you may be asked for solving a problem, and if you solve a problem you may get a clarity. And next one is parallel pipes concept. See, same when the two reservoirs are connected by using a pipe, this may be a parallel pipe system where your main pipe is splitted up into two parts. This is one and another one, and joined at the end here, these types of connections are called parallel pipe connections. Not only this, okay, in this pipeline parallel pipes connections, now our intention is to identify again these velocities or discharges, whatever the problem, whatever may be the unknown value, we must identify. For this also we will apply the same Bernoulli's equation concept. So from this we can we know that from the diagram itself, the total discharge, whatever the flow that is coming in the main pipeline is divided. From the main pipeline it is divided, the discharge was divided. So summation of this discharge in first line and second pipe, if you add these two discharges you will get the final discharge, total discharge. So whatever, so let us consider L1 and L2 be the lengths and V1 V2 be the velocities, Q1 Q2 are the discharges, D1 and D2 be the diameters. If you observe here, whenever the fluid is flowing between the 2 points, it is only due to the pressure difference between the 2 points. That is nothing but, let us consider 2 points A and B. If you observe the flow between the 2 points, it may be due to the flow through the second pipe, or it may be flow through the first pipe. So the head loss between A and B can be by the first pipe or second pipe. It is nothing but the whatever the loss that you are getting, it may be due to the flow in first pipe or it may be due to the flow in second pipe. So the losses, whatever the losses that you got are equal. That is nothing but loss of head in pipe 1 is equals to loss of head in pipe 2. So it is nothing but HF is equals to 4 FL F1 L1 V1 square by 2 ZD1 is equals to 4 F2 L2 V2 square by 2 ZD2. If F1 and F2 are equal, then the equation turns like this. By using this equation also, some types of problems can be solved.